DreamHack Open is brought to you by Corsair, Intel, and Monster Energy.
The Aussies of Renegades are the first team to cement their spot in the Grand Finals, but one more team must join them. Will it be the Danes of Heroic, or will hometown favourites Big cement their spot in the Grand Finals later? My name is Freya, your desk host up here. Joining me, the wonderful Potter and Maniac. Guys, we have started off so strong. A 3-match series going the whole 9 yards. This one, I'm sure, is equal.
Yeah, I'm trying to shake off the tension right here in my shoulders because I can feel the crowd ready for big. I am ready for big. You just said it. The game before was amazing, and there is no reason to think this is going to be any different. I'm sure everyone is going to pack the arena completely. This is big playing the home crowd going up against Heroic, who yesterday blew my mind completely in their comeback versus North. So there is about a million reasons to be excited, roughly.
Yeah, I'm cautiously excited at the moment. Listen, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but the thing is Big had a day off yesterday. We just saw Lions have a day off, and they came in and they fell short. They cracked under the pressure. We saw a lot of the individual players that we've been speaking highlights of all weekend long, making plays that we're just not expecting them to make, making small, minor mistakes that really caught Lions off guard and ultimately made them lose out. So I'm cautiously optimistic about Big's performance here. I'm hopeful that the players that should show up, and crossing my fingers.
Well, if you guys missed any of the action this morning, first of all, what were you doing? But don't worry, we'll be giving you a little bit of a recap with our playoff bracket. Obviously, as Christine mentioned, Renegades managed to go 2-1 up against Mad Lions. A solid showing from the Aussies, which cements their spot in tonight's Grand Final. But now we are moving on to see Big taking on Heroic. As you mentioned, Maniac, a hometown favorite. Big have some expectations on their shoulders.
They definitely do, and the reality of having the crowd behind you is that the effect can go both ways. Either it pushes you and it makes you play way better because you're so excited, and trust me, it means something to the player. When you get in action and you hear everyone clapping, roaring, that does have an effect on you. Or you get the pressure, you feel like you want to make people proud, you want to make your own crowd happy, and then you disappear onto the challenge. So that's one of the two. I believe that so far, Big have been pushed by the crowd, not inhibited. So I hope this is going to be the case again. But I'm expecting Big firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, this crowd have been absolutely awesome, by the way. Thank you so much for joining us here in Leipzig. But just to preface this matchup, this is a repeat of what happened in Leipzig in 2017. Heroic going up against Big in the semi-final. As Tabson reminded us with this tweet earlier, which we thought was such an interesting storyline. Obviously, the rosters have changed a lot. There's only one player remaining on each of the sides, but it's the organizational clash. And obviously, last time Tabson was successful with Big, they managed to make it to the Grand Final. Well, they didn't win, but I think it's a cool storyline to be highlighting. These two orgs clashing once again.
Definitely, and I mean, 2017, it does seem long ago for us, but for Big, maybe it's just yesterday. You know, 2018, 2019 was a little quiet for the
just
Big organization. Yeah, so they're just like, you know what, we were on this stage just a little bit ago, we're ready to perform here today.
Yeah, exactly, indeed. And I'm hoping that we will be seeing them perform. And I'm kind of wondering, what are your expectations coming into this? Because obviously Big had a day off yesterday. They've only actually won 2 best-of-1s. They haven't played in a best-of-3 series as of yet. I'm wondering what your sort of initial thoughts are coming into this.
Yeah, I mean, if we are going to try and take the more realistic point of view here, we haven't seen that much from Big. They have shown us 2 very great maps. They have just changed their roster. Keto and Surson in. They kept Xantares, which was a question for a little bit of time. But whatever they have shown us was really great. So I decide that my position is going to be they will continue to overperform. And if they do, they become, in my mind, automatically even favorite? I'm going to go as far as favorite for the whole tournament. If they keep on going and 200 kilometers per hour, and you know, the Autobahn actually in Germany has no limit. Maybe that's the big situation. They just go no limit, absolutely all in. And if they keep on going, which I believe they will, they are favorites.
On that same token, once again, I'm coming in from the other side here, but we have to remember that Big faced off versus a Virtus Pro on that first day, and a Renegades who clearly on that first day were not showing their full potential, because on the second and third day today, they absolutely showed up. So I have to remind myself that Big has not been challenged thus far yet. And this semifinals here should be the challenge that we're all kind of hoping and expecting Big to be able to come out on top of, but it's going to be a challenge.
Well, Maniac, you've definitely got the chaotic energy. Potter, you've got the neutral energy. We've got a mix. I like this. But Maniac, you were speaking about favorites, and you have picked out a favorite to watch for this matchup. Who is this?
I mean, if you watch Big, then it's a no-brainer. You have to talk about Tapson. You absolutely have to. He is currently firing on all cylinders. His first day was absolutely amazing. He has a 1.52 rating, which, if you're not familiar with the number, is extremely high. The fact that Keto was brought into the lineup and brought that aggressivity when they needed to be means that Tapson can play his role. He has more space. He doesn't have so much on his shoulder. He's feeling great. I do believe that they're going to need that Tapson. They're going to need Gala Tapson, absolutely massive beast that he was on the day one. But I think that that's going to happen. So keep an eye on Tapson, because he always produces crazy actions.
100%. And moving over to that heroic side, Potter, who have you got your eye on?
We're going to talk about Esatag. I know we talked about him at the very end of the day yesterday because he was the player to watch. But, you know, Esatag has had a very diverse career so far. He went from a rifler to an opper to an in-game leader to a support rifler, and now he's back to almost a star rifler for this heroic lineup. So he's very versatile, and I think you can absolutely see that in what he provides for the heroic lineup in that server. And I'm expecting Esatag to have to show up at full force in order to bring heroic over the finish line, because they almost fell flat yesterday. Yeah,
100%. I'm so excited to see what these two teams will bring, but I'm even more excited to have a look at our map vetoes. Where are you expecting this one to go, guys?
Well, first of all, we don't know that much about Big. I do believe they should remove Vertigo. I would be very surprised if they chance it and if they leave it open for Heroic. And I think that Heroic is going to take away... Okay, well, I'm wrong. Big actually deciding...
They're floating it.
Vertigo open. Snappy, are you watching? Obviously, he's watching what I'm watching. He's doing the video in my place. But there is an opportunity here if they want to jump on it. Now, the Dust 2 ban makes sense. And, okay, the float actually pays off. Vertigo is not picked.
It's probably going to get banned here, vetoed out here in the second round.
It has to be in the second rotation.
Yeah, surely.
There he is. So you have, if you're a hero, you have Overpass. They currently have, I think, 7 map streak win on it. It's absolutely insane. Big go for Inferno. We have seen them on day one. They definitely can play the map. This is more of a safe call. And Nuke being the last one. This is perfect for a banger of third map, because both teams can definitely play Nuke. Heroic had this in their roster for a long, long time, and Big, as you said, they beat Renegades. Oh, but we don't know if Renegades... I know, this was not high-level Renegades. Okay, I agree with you, I acknowledge that, but still, we have seen greatness from Big on Nuke.
Yeah, 100%. Of course, we had a chance to speak to our 2 semi-finalist teams ahead of this matchup. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
In rotation, in transition, he gives his position away.
Every opponent can just beat everyone here. Everyone is on the same level, I would say, so everything can happen.
I really want the trophy. Lifting it in Atlanta was such a good experience for us as a team, so we're really looking to replicate that.
It's just like a dream for me to lift the trophy here in Leipzig, so why not? We should win it, we want to win it, and maybe we will do it.
I know that we have to face off against Big, and that's going to be a very intense game, and who knows if we're not going to make it through the semi, but I just want to play against Mad Lions and show them who's the best.
We will fight as hard as we can, just like not 100%, maybe 110, 120% to just get the trophy, yeah?
Mad Lions, we're coming for you.
Lass die Spiele beginnen.
Heroic, the team that would not take no for an answer yesterday against North. They managed to take that series in such a close game, and I'm imagining that they're going to bring this energy to today's game.
Absolutely. I mean, let me put it this way. We prefaced saying that Big were not really challenged. Well, Heroic are the polar opposite. They got challenged to the absolute maximum and they survived it. And it means something during an event. It creates an energy, it creates a confidence whenever you survive that kind of games that you know, guys, whatever the scoreline is, however bad the situation is for us, we can come back, and I believe that they have that with them in the backpack going into this game.
Definitely, and not only that, but I mean, these guys were able to grind their way back from such large deficits and end up winning the entire series. I think that's absolutely going to play a huge role here. I'm expecting Cadian to be an integral part for this Heroics lineup to have some success here. You see him smiling. He's always got that nice aura. We spoke about the auras coming out of these players. Yeah, the new word of the day. And I'm absolutely sure that the players to his left and right are feeling that. They're feeding off his energy, and they should be able to make something happen out of it.
Yeah, and just to bounce back on the roster as well, is that an interesting fact, before yesterday and the tough game they had, both players that were right at the bottom of the stats, and I'm talking about Stone and I'm talking about Borup, they both stepped up when they needed to, right? It's in the head, he showed it. That's what happened. Borup and Stone, they saved Heroic from being eliminated, and before that game, they were down in the dumpster when it comes to stats. So if you have people who are able to do that, able to bounce back whenever they have a bad event, well, that is the key to success. That is the key to consistency.
I think that was what was so amazing when we was talking to Savin, that he was not happy with his performance yesterday. He was saying that he was about to cry after that second game. And it's so surprising when you see a player like him be so humble and so reserved. And I'm hoping that he's going to be bringing that in today's game. But, of course, we've got to talk about the hometown favourites, Big. These guys have been proving their stuff. Obviously, they had a day off yesterday. We saw what Godby and some of the other guys were up to. They were going out and racing some cars, but we did see a lot of the players here watching every single one of the games, so they have been getting their preparation in for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw the car. It was pretty good. I think they had a good time. But back to Counter-Strike, as you said, what are the green lights for Big right now? We said it, Tapson is firing on all cylinder. I think Xantares as well is finding his footage, again, based on 2 maps. But that sample that we have from Xantares is absolutely good. We have the man right here on your screen. And if I ever had to use one word to describe him, that would be mechanics. What he is able to do with the weapon doesn't matter the position. Any duel you will take against him is dangerous, but he's not alone in his team. The captain, Tapson next to him, and I hope we're going to see a bit more from Sunstone.
For sure, and I gotta wonder, with this first map being Overpass and it being such an op-heavy map, but especially towards that A site, Searson being one of the newer members coming onto this team, I hope that they have all of their basics covered and all their bases covered, because he's gonna have to be able to use his teammates to the best of his ability to bounce off their aggro and capitalize with that AWP. So many times we see the AWP not being as effective as it could be on that CT side Overpass, so I think it's gonna be important for Searson to actually be able to show up.
Well, that is a perfect segue into our predictions. Guys, I'm going to go with you, Maniac, first. Sorry, you win.
No, it's fine, it's fine. Listen.
You need your teddy, I think.
I do need my teddy bear. Someone to get away from me. I feel very naked right now. No, listen, this is a tough game, the prediction, but I will keep on riding that wave of Big overperforming, Big fueling on the energy from the crowd. They have shown me enough for me to believe. I know that Heroic have many advantages going into this game, but I will believe. Auf geht's, Big. I'm ready.
What about you, Potter?
Oh man, these predictions are getting more and more tough, I feel like. I'm gonna go with Heroic here. I still believe that they are a very strong team. I appreciate their teamwork. I do agree with you. I think the Big members, if they do show up, obviously I think it's gonna be an extremely competitive series.
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to side with the home crowd on this one. I think Big are going to be taking it. I do think it's going to be going to 3 maps, as with all these series today, but I think Big will be taking this one. I'm super interested to see exactly what Twitch chat are saying. Of course, it's going to be Big.
Wow.
Here we go.
Unbiased opinion.
Twitch chat we like
90% with Big, and the crowd are absolutely loving that. I'm sure they rocked the boat a little bit in that vote, but we will be getting into the second semi-final after this.
Shadows watching over me, over me. You flicked the switch, made a spark. From then on I wore my heart upon my sleeve. With you I bear all the scars. I was left with paper skin, you let me in. again. Rising up, we touch the sky. Won't be promising that I won't ever let you fall. We could build on rounded stories high if we played a game just you and I. Whoa, like a house of cards, hey, when it all comes crashing to the ground, we can start again and work it out. Like a house of cards, hey. You found me after the fire, like a diamond in the rough. Was strong enough, raising the beds, pushing higher, risking everything for us. It's all for us. Rising up, we touch the sky. Won't be promising that I won't ever let you fall.
A rematch 3 years in the making. I was there, Pimp. It was incredible. The semi-finals, Big ended up winning it, then losing to Flipside in the finals. But here we are, 2 separate lineups, 2 separate situations entirely. But you better believe the crowd is going to be up for this one.
I think they will be, and I think the Big stands a great chance of actually taking this series as well. Coming into the tournament, I didn't think that would be the case. This lineup and this organization have been struggling for quite some time. They made some roster changes. Shmuya is no longer part of this club anymore. He's no longer part of the active roster. And I didn't expect Big to turn up that well on day one, but they did 1-2 best of ones and booked the place straight into the semi-final. And some of the players from Big we have to look out for, as we saw on day one. That's got to be Tabson and it's got to be Shantaris. Those two, if they go off, they have the potential to be not only the 2 best players on the server, but I say potentially the 2 best players in the entire tournament.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. First map of the semi-finals. Let them hear you make the ground shake. That's what I'm talking about. Here we go, Big and heroic. Straight into the pistol. Some utility picked up for the tees, but they're all playing passively here, Pimp. They're going towards the playground.
Yeah, look at that push coming in from heroic. 4 guys down towards connection, but Big, they're not having anything of that. They're just going to rush up towards A-Long. Question is this a read? Have they done the preparation properly? Are they aware that this is a pistol round heroics like to do, or what's going on right here? Tizian almost spots out his attack. Not quite finding him. Tabson could be finding some duels right here. This could end real good for Big, I feel. Then good position to take down S-Attack, finding the first frag as well. That's going to be Tizian. And now S-Attack in a good position though. Not able to catch more than one. Tabson finds the refrag. Not quite able to connect on Burrow, but gets away alive. And this is a good start for Big.
Excellent start, but Snappy's able to rummage around the back of them. Not able to cull any of the T's, but Cadian with his USP, precision. 2 kills go his way, and that's the bomb that goes with them. Tizian and Searson need to somehow carve out a path towards the site. They've dropped the bomb, no longer under control. Tizian's given his position away. A speculative shot that he has finished off onto Snappy. And now the P250 of Searson can maybe get around the back of the 2 CTs. They're chilling on the site. They have no idea what's coming up. They're taking shots. Searson, this is his moment to strike. This is his moment to maybe take this pistol and get Big off to the perfect stop. But he's just about missed out the timing. He's being tagged from the side. Still spins around and deals with the player along, but Burrow for the Danes is going to claim first blood in this best of 3.
What a chaotic pistol round that was. Almost managed to pull it back. Big that was. Searson hitting that nice flick with the P250, but it was simply too much for him. Cadian coming in with a double kill. Boab as well. Well done by those 2, but Big really had a chance of getting off to a good start right here. Was denied by Cadian, unfortunately, and I think we have a little bit of a technical timeout coming in here. At least the game is not live, just for those at home wondering, but wow. If that's going to be the game on and moving forward, we're going to have a good one going on right here, Vince.
We're going to have a banger.
A banger.
An absolute banger, mate. But it's all right. They're just building up the suspense here, Pimp. It's all planned. All planned.
I wouldn't mind that, you know, get the crowd rolled up. We can always hear the chants coming in. I think it's going to be a good one as well. I think, as I said before, moving into this match, coming into the tournament, you wouldn't think to yourself that Big would stand a chance of qualifying for the grand final. But after how well they were playing on day one, I'm starting to believe that this new roster, this new iteration of the Big clan, has what it takes to be a top team, has what it takes to go inside a tournament like this and book a final ticket against Renegades, who we saw play just a few moments ago. But what a game that could be. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. They still have to beat Heroic. And Heroic is also a strong team. We talked about them coming into the tournament as being one of the favorites, you know. Together with Virtus.pro, I probably would put those two up there. But Virtus.pro didn't deliver. Heroic so far has. Close game yesterday against North. Some may argue they should have lost Overpass and be out of the tournament. It should have been North going into the final, but that's not the case. Heroic is here now, ready to take on Big. Up 1-0. We're ready to go again, and Big, they've forced into this one. Bought up grenades, bought up deagles, bought up armor, and we're going to see a triple boost there with the scout. This could pan out well. Oh, look at that.
Oh, nice. Leaning Tower of Tease. He's going to collapse Snappy's head with the scout. Excellent teamwork, but with that boost, they know that 3 players were out of commission. This is allowing Cadian to play up close like this. He knows they can't be to his right-hand side, but Searson with 2 scout frags. What a start.
What a start to the round. Beautiful stuff by Searson. Hitting 2 nice shots with the scouts, and that's putting on a lot of pressure towards Heroic right now. 3 guys left, 1 MP9, 1 FMS, and another MP9. Make that 2. Decent amount of utility left on both sides, so I think Big is in for a good one right here. They're staying together, all 5 working and moving as a unit. I think that's the correct call to make. And Heroic, they have to guess, right? They're not really sure where they are, and even though they do, it's going to be 5 against 2 guys right here. A flash towards the bomb side after this Molotov and the smoke disappears. Should be enough for Big Clan to get the retake. Should be enough for Big Clan to get the bomb side, get the trade frags going, and we'll see how that's going to pan out.
Stavin will well play smoke. Going to put them at bay at arm's reach for a little bit longer. 3 smokes. 2 have just been deployed. Raining down a blockade onto the site. Looking to blot out the storm, but Stavin's eyes are cleared. But they have been permanently closed. S-Attack now, a player to watch, will do nothing. And it falls upon Burrup with the SMG, 1v4. And Captain will clean him up. That scout pick yields the round. And Heroic in trouble, economically speaking.
Surely they are. We get to see this shot one more time. That's a beautiful one. The crowd loved that one as well. This one, though, is even more impressive while he's moving up. Just instantly removes Cadian from the map, giving Big a good chance of getting off to a good start now. Let's see if Heroic can do the same thing as well. Bought up 2 scouts, forced into this round, pistol and armor. A little bit of utility, not a lot. Cadian seeking for the shot, not able to connect it. Searson staying alive, and as it looks right now, Heroic giving up the fact that they forced into this one. But there we go. Cadian connects the shot, but there we go. An instant refrag coming in from Keto, that's nice. They're giving out a lot of map control though. S-Attack have been able to push all the way into Playground. I don't think Keto knows that. He could be caught off guard as well. There we go, the information gets there, and S-Attack can connect the bullet, so Big are well aware that this B-bomb side is lackluster right now. Cadian not able to connect towards him either, so we're looking at a bomb plant and a 4v4 retake with 2 scouts. Shouldn't be possible. Surely shouldn't be possible.
Well, that's going to give them maybe a bit of hope. Searson living by the scout and dying by it early doors in the round, but post-plant. They're going to get kills. It has to come right now. The lack of kits and nades will be an issue otherwise. Snappy avenging his fallen teammate of Burrup. And the Danes look to dish out the pain now onto Big. Tizian on Monster. Surely enough time has elapsed that this round is not doable. They're going to go for the defuse anyway, and the remaining 2 players with scouts are going to back away. They're tagging up low enough that the bomb may finish off the rest, but the round is going to the Germans. Whichever way you spin it, Keto does survive. He's the only player left on 12 HP, but they did it. They got the job done.
Yeah, they got the job done, and I think that's the most important thing to take away here. The fact that they lose 4 players is obviously not a great thing, but winning the round is more important, and as you can see, still a good buy coming in from the Big Clan. And Heroic left with no money, only a scout on Cadian. 4 USPs. This should be it. This should be the start that Big Clan and the fans out there would have hoped for. Now it's all about surviving. They're going into towards this B bomb side fast. Stewardson with the MAC-10, finding the first one. Looking for the second one as well. Getting taken down by Staven though. Tizian in there to follow up. The team are together, but it's falling apart right now for Big Clan. I don't know what they're doing, running in one by one. Shantaris, that was a little bit stupid. Tizian has a big task ahead of him now. MAC-10 has been picked up by Staven as well.
At least it's not an assault rifle, but they still have that scout with Cadian, and he's already been landing some shots. He could weaken and soften them up low enough that the pistols could come into fruition after all. Way closer than it should have been. Big, holding on by the skin of their teeth, but they're being ripped out. Estetag with surgical precision on his USP, penetrating the box, landing it in the head. And Keto and Tizian have an arduous task ahead of them, tentatively moving back and forward. Snappy takes the opportunity to come out into the open, and Tizian now, last player standing alive. They need him to play that hero position perfectly. There's a rotation into heaven with the aforementioned scout for Cadian. Picks up the bomb. They know that he doesn't really have realistically time to rotate to the other side of the map, so he has to sit this one down. Tizian with another frag, he's picked up two, there's a clutch! Collectively, Big can wipe the sweat off their brow and pat Tizian on the back.
That was such an important clutch by Tizian, but I don't know what Big Clan were doing right there. I don't mind the call going fast in towards the B bomb site, but they were doing it half-assed, you know. The trade frag potential wasn't there. Shantaris all of a sudden deciding to go up by himself, and it was starting to fall apart for Big Clan until Tizian showed up and got that clutch in. That was beautiful again. It's good to see him having early impact. He's not necessarily the player you look towards when you want frags from the big players, but in this occasion he was all they needed. Cadian not able to connect the shot towards the player in Monster, and here we are, 3-1, a full buy for both teams, and thanks to Tizian, Big are off to a strong start.
They surely are. A disappointing outcome for Big, especially as they've lost the first two players. CS has a short memory. You may have just picked up a 4K in a clutch, but this round, heroic. Come out swinging for the fences, and they land the haymakers. They put Big to sleep and keep all 5 players alive, which is great news for their money.
Definitely great news for Heroic. They needed that. That was a big play by Estetag. Triple kill towards long. Didn't have too much backup from his team. He's gotten the 4th one as well. We're looking at a situation where because of Big Clan not really doing that well in the anti-ecos, they're down to an eco straight away, have no money whatsoever to bring into this round. Shantaris is on Deagle, armor, Keto as well, but that's about it. There's a single flash as well, but nothing that should be a problem for Heroic. Cadian finding the first one with a grenade as well. Taps already down to 36 HP. So yeah, despite the heroics by Tizian, they still find themselves in a rough position. That being said though, Overpass is a map that you'd say is CT-sided. So can you get away with 6, 7, potentially even 8 rounds? You've done a good job. So 3-3, which it will be in a second from now, is not necessarily a bad start by Big Clan, but there was a bit potential for more. We'll have to see how the rest of the half pans out, obviously, but this round is relatively easy going the way of Heroics. Snappy finding another one. And another one. It's only left up to Shantaris with a Deagle. We've seen some Heroics from some of the German players now. Obviously, he's not a German player, but representing the German squad. I doubt this one is going to pan out well for him, though.
I'm sure the crowd feels he's an honorary German at the very least right now, being in Big, but he is going to be tapped down from Estetag. 2nd consecutive round without a loss. The accountant smiling from ear to ear for the Danes.
That's the thing, right? You're building up economy and you're doing it fast, which makes it so much more tough for Big Clan to get back into it, especially considering they have to take a double eco here. They're buying up 5 grenades, so they definitely have a plan here. They're going to walk towards the B bomb site, I'm sure. They want to nade somebody to death. Maybe middle? Maybe middle. There we go. Just anticipating the aggression coming middle. Cadian is not falling for it though. Taking no damage at all from the grenades. There you go, a good grenade from Shantaris, but it's not going to result in a kill or anything like that. So, like the little investment coming in from Big in the grenades, but not finding any success with it at all. This could be another great round by Heroic. Big about to explode towards this B-bomb side.
Could be a massacre. Stabbed just going to hold position. Doesn't need to peek. He knows he has his angles covered from short. He'll start to play around heaven. And it is a complete massacre. Keto, the only player for Big to strike lucky. But Heroic will take the lead.
Sure they will. And now we're going to see the first DSL full buy round. The first round where they have actually saved up as much as they could coming into this one. AK-47, a single SG and an AWP on Sirson. Decent amount of utility, plenty of flashes, plenty of smokes. Few Molotovs as well, should be enough for Big Clan to gain some map control. Cadian aggressive towards middle with the grenade, and there we go, the connector control has been taken. Shantaeus takes a lot of damage, Snipey finds 2 kills. Through the wall, I believe that is. We didn't get to see that, I'm sure we will later on, but that must have been nice. That's a horrible start for Big Clan right here. Not what they hoped for. They tried to pick up the pace, gain some map control fast, but that backfired big time. Snipey said no. 2 kills, not a single HP lost on the side of Heroic. It was looking so good in the beginning for Big Clan, but surely has slowed down now.
Yeah, you could see the evidence at the scene of the crime. Bullet holes through the boost wall into connector. That's where the 2 kills came down. So excellent wall bang from Snappy. Still retains all his health as you highlighted, and some grenades. Big have been stalled down. Still enough utility to feasibly execute onto either side with 3. Flashbang preceding the smokes potentially, or the peak. There's another one. They have telegraphed this to an extent though, but it's still going to draw out some Molotovs elsewhere on the map because they haven't fully forced behind this. Now they're going to realize a smoke onto the site to block off any vision from the water where Burrup is currently positioned. Time is starting to dwindle away though. Nearly on empty. They've got to push right here, right now if there's any chance for Big. They need some entries, and it's not going to be forthcoming. Stabbin laying down Tizian. Tapson's going to drop, as will Searson. Another flawless round for Heroic.
Another flawless round. The economy is building up so strong on this CT side. And Big haven't really been close to get anything done. Here we go, snapping with the double kill through the wall. That's beautiful, lining it up. While I like the idea from Big Clan trying to put on some pressure, trying to be fast in the way they gain map control, as said, it backfired big time, and now would be the time to slow down. If you have a pocket strat, something you know lined up for this tournament, for this map in particular against Heroic, now would be the time to throw it out there. Gain some momentum, get around on the board, and start to believe in the project once again. If you don't have that, then I just advise a default. See if you can spread out, kind of feel out what Heroic is doing, and maybe get a pick or 2 and then work on from that. But we'll have to wait and see what the approach is going to be by Big Clan. They're not investing into this one, so we'll have to wait and see for the following round. But that's the 3rd eco round. This is a Simmer eco, buying up a few pistols and armor, but they've been spending a lot of money, you know, in the buy rounds and haven't had much left for the pistols. So it's been some relatively easy rounds for Heroic so far. And 5 on the board this early is a good start for them. Whereas for Big Clan sitting at 3, it's not too bad. It's just could have been better. There's been potential for more, I'd say.
Tizian has been given the honor of the raid boss with the AK-47. 2 flashes and a smoke. Problem is, though, that Heroic have full buy behind them and plenty of funds. Acadian feels confident enough to re-peek. Actually misses his shot. He's going to get rushed down. It's going to be glocks of all weapons. Searson and Tapson both striking while the fire is hot. Smoke has been planted onto the site. The bomb is no longer under control, but there is the AK. That's why they've gone for it. 2v4 retake, post-plant. That nade does a lot of damage, but it's Burrup that will finish off Tizian. That's the AK that goes with him, anticipating the peek up. That's an AWP shot miss from Zantares that could have put this round to rest. It may still go their way. Smoke onto the site. They both have kits. They're going to be sticking onto the bomb, trying to draw out the shots. Going back onto the bomb one more time. Waiting until those magazines are depleted to go and pick off the weakened Big players. But they're staying in control for the time being. Zantares now still with that up. Has it trained towards the site. There's the first kill. And the second one. Big with 1 AK-47s. Glock rush the site. And they will take the round.
Beautiful stuff coming out of Big Clan right here, making absolutely most out of this round. As you said, the Glock train came in. Cadian getting a little bit too aggressive towards the banana area, going down, and then Shantaris finishing it off with 2 nice AWP kills right here. Heroic had the smoke down for the bomb, but they took so long to kill the guy in toilets that as soon as he was down, Shantaris, there was no smoke to cover for the bomb. There was no smoke to cover the defuse, and Shantaris was clinically just removing them from the map. Huge round from Big Clan, putting 4 on the board now, and adding some pressure towards Heroic. Attack here, pushed all the way up, takes down Taps, and he hasn't really gotten off to a good start, sitting at 3 frags and 9 dead so far. Broke towards Long as well, getting another one. Heroic, they seem to be in great control of these normal default rounds, whereas for Big Clan, it's kind of falling apart very early into the rounds.
I've already seen Tizian pull off something special. He's going to have to dip into that back pocket. With 18 HP, Zantares, the hero of the previous round, this time with the SG. What a response from Heroic. It does seem like Big, they've won rounds, it's been off some individual performances. Borup is feeling it. He's picked up more kills. Puts Heroic back into winning ways.
And I think it's kind of like what we saw in the game between Renegades and Mad Lions and Train, where every time Mad Lions run around, it seems so effortlessly. They didn't do anything in order to do it right. They just played their game, went semi-aggressive, and there was no one really fighting back from the side of Renegades besides Dexter in that one. But same is the case right here for Heroic. Seems to be relatively easy. Cadian once again getting caught off guard. This time around though, he had a nice shot. Got the backup from S-Attack, but he goes down as well. Cadian hits Kilo through the wall, but being pressured now in a rough position. He could very well go down with an AWP as well, hitting a nice flick towards Tap. And another one on Shantaris, and there we go, Cadian stepping it up when needed the most. Triple kill from him. A bomb going down, and Cadian is still locked inside this toilet position. Tizian all the way up on the A bomb side. Here we go. This could be dangerous for Heroic. He's well aware 2 players over towards toilets. And another kill goes the way of Big Clan now. 2 versus 2.
Tizian cancelling Cadian's early impact. Still a minute to play with. All this chaos and frenzy happened in such quick succession that there are options and opportunities, but the positions of Heroic, they know they haven't actually rotated through Connector. This is allowing them both to stay on the A side of the map and try and lock this down. The HP is so very difficult for Big to work with. Tizian 21, or 23, pardon me, and Keto on 14. But it's overkill. Cadian AWPs him down. Heroic 2 in a row again.
Very strong presence from the Danish AWP player right here, hitting some good shots. That one right there, that was nice. Kept it calm even though being blinded. Deflect towards Tapson. He's a little bit unlucky right now, Tapson. I feel he hasn't really gotten off as we saw him on day 1, where he was, to me, player of the day, and I think he was awarded that as well, if I'm not mistaken. Had a strong showing. Today, though, it's not been the same case. We need to see Tapson alive. We need to see him do some work. Got an SG in hand this time around. Big with another buy round. Cadian coming out of connection. Not able to find a frag here, falling back as well, but you can see that Heroic is constantly trying to contest Big Clan for the map control, and it's been working so far. And now, this time around, Big Clan survived. Haven't gone down any man. There we go. Still finding a pick. Instant trade frag by Borup, but I'd take that trade any given day if I'm Big Clan. 4 against 4 now.
Allows them to try and pincer in and catch Heroic while they're a little bit weakened, but there is a rotation from Heroic. The question now is how long can Heroic stall Big for? Do these rotations get into a useful position for the Danes? They're doing a good job thus far, but now the mollies and smokes are starting to be deployed. Borup is using that smoke to his advantage. Has been the pick of the bunch so far on Overpass. Does he have more gears to shift through, or has he reached his ceiling? Stavin has his back covered with the SG. Smokes onto the site. That rotation still slowly moving into position, clambering its way, looking to clobber Big where they stand. But Borup may not need any help. He has an M4. That's the only compadre he needs, but he has gone down. Cadian now is going to make that flank known with the AWP. Taps it from midair. Is going to claim the kill to Stavin. There's the return fire for Zantares. And Cadian with an AWP in a 1-on-2 clutch. Has the smoke and Molotov to at least extend the chance, and Tapson is going to stand tall and deliver. But again, it's another round that's scrappy and goes to the end for Big.
A round is a round though, Vince, and that's another important one coming in from Big Clan. Tapson finally finding some impact. As I was saying before, he was playing so well on day 1. We haven't seen that today, but this round, very important for them. And finally, they're starting to put in some pressure onto Heroic. We saw them win rounds after rounds in the beginning, surviving all guys. But the money right now is not looking too good for Heroic. If Big Clan is winning this one, we could very well look at a scenario where this half is going to tie up. And I'd say, as of now, Big Clan haven't really been on the same level as Heroic, but they're getting close to it right now. They're getting very close.
You can sense that weakness. They want to pounce on its prey. Stavin, Molotov, well placed, well timed. Going to be smoke behind it as well. Going to storm a bit longer. Searson has been smashed by Snappy's M4. They're doing a really solid job of holding here, Heroic, and dishing out the punishment at the same time. Big, you can see they want to execute. They have no map control. For all they know, they're being flanked again. That Cadian play is straight in the back of their mind. Keto is going to try his best to extend with the AK to the oncoming CTs who are trying to play aggro. The HP is brutal for Big, though. 3 players around 10 or below HP. It's only Tabson that can really absorb any bullets at this point.
Not wrong about that. It's all up to Tabson, the only guy with HP, finding the first frag here to Snappy, as well as Pro-Up goes down, taking control over this B bomb side. It's still 2 versus 3, but as you said, the HP is so low.
Attack going in with the M4. Next player to fall, and it's Cadian. Last time a 1v2, this time a 1v3. There's no way of him knowing how low these big players are, so he is out of there. And Big have managed to connect the dots.
Look at that. Cadian goes back in for it. Not connecting his shot with AVP, but he gives away his position. Smoke on the bomb now as well. It's not really connecting, is it? There's still a player on the side. The bomb is planted open, and I think Cadian realizes that right now. The crowd was cheering a little bit too prematurely right there, but this time around, I think you're okay to go. The round is effectively over. Cadian cannot win it, and there we go. He goes down to Searson. Nice effort from Cadian. He tried to play off the fact that the crowd was cheering. Didn't work out for him though, but that's how it is to play on land. Take advantage of everything you can. Good job by Tabson again, finding more impact in this round. And as you said, the HP was so low on the Big Clan, but they made it work in the end. That's all that matters. It's been scrappy, it's been close, but at the end of the day, they got 6 rounds on the board and they're about to get the 7th now, facing only pistols.
Scrappy, close, but very entertaining. And Big should be equalizing the score. And as you highlighted earlier, this is a map where on the CT side, you're looking for 9 or 10 rounds. Realistically, Big have already hit the 6 mark and could be building upon that. Just a Deagle, a P250, and a flashbang to play with. Or 2 Deagles with some armor. That's it. Well, that Deagle shot wasn't far off, though. Keto's life flashed before his eyes.
Luckily for him, he stayed alive. No damage done, and we're still looking at a round where nobody has taken any damage at all. Shantara's not able to spot this little boost. If he walks into it, it could be dangerous, but they just want to walk into this B bomb side, and there's nobody there to defend it. Borb is boosting his teammate towards a short, but there's not going to be any action coming his way anytime soon. And Big are getting this round pretty much for free. Question is, how many guys can they survive, and is it going to be a problem for them to finish it up? The answer is no. Shantara is farming a few kills, and hopefully can give him some confidence coming into the second half. He hasn't had a strong T-side at all. He hasn't had a lot of impact, but as said, you know, the first day we casted Big Clan, it's a player that at a certain point, I personally believe, and I think the community did as well, one of the most skilled players, not only in Europe, but in the entire world. When he's on fire, he is something special. He hasn't been able to find that level in Big Clan, at least not on a consistent basis at all. I think that's the potential we're always hoping to see. Some days find that. As you said, you have Tabson and Shantara going off on the same team. You have one of the best teams in the world. I have no doubt saying that.
Right alongside with you, definitely one of the most gifted, mechanically skilled players out there, but sometimes does go a little bit absent. So let's see if this semi-final is going to be his. If he can stamp his authority on it. But a bit of a slow start, but Big have scrapped their way into a 7-7. Will they lead at half-time? The next 2 minutes will give us the answers to those questions. Cadian's going to try and make the round go a little bit quicker than that, but nothing's going to be sticking. Again, Big opting towards the B side with the bomb. Burrup this time not perched up. He's going for the peek, and Searson's going to punish him. That's a big part of the puzzle that's gone with him. If Cadian can equalize, it could be interesting, but he's going to go the same way. They may not anticipate a second player and connect over that. Molotov suggests that they have. They've drawn this attack into the open, and this is a perfect round from Big.
Another entry frag coming in from Sørensen. That was his 5th in this first half. He's had a lot of impact with the AWP. Snappy answers back, and so does Staven, making it a 3 versus 2, but now they're both known in their positions, and Big, they're being caught off guard a bit. They want to fall back here. Makes sense. Shantaris is all the way up towards the A bomb site, so he's cutting off the rotation. The bomb is on the way towards the A bomb site, but it's going to be a while before he's here. I'm well aware that Heroic players should know that Shantaris is there, but they are not able to do anything about it. Finds another frag. He's had a lot of impact the past few rounds, Shantaris, that is. Good to see Staven in a 1 versus 3. Finds the head of Shantaris. 1 versus 2. Big really haven't decided where to go yet. There's still a possibility that the young Dane can fight back in this one. Now, Big, you want to play together. You want to trade each other. Why are you going in by yourself? I'm not sure I understand this move. Thank God for Tizian, though he survives. He makes it 8-7 for Big. Great comeback into this first half. We'll be straight back with you after the break.
You play, I like the game. Game, the game. I like the games, I like the games. You play, I like the game.
The CS gods have been kind to us. All 3 maps of the semi-finals so far have gone 8-7. And we're on for a bit of a cracker of a second half here in our first map of that second semis. The hometown favourites, Big, managed to weather the storm and actually come back and lead at halftime. Unbelievably, considering this is Heroic's choice of map.
I would agree, especially considering the start they got to this game. I think Heroic were ahead of them in many aspects of the game, but as you said, they won the most important clutches in the game, and we started to see Shantaris and Tapson getting some impact. We see Estetec now, though. He's going to have a visit, and that's going to be Tapson again with the impact. Shantaris in connection. Against 3 guys, there's no way he should be able to survive this, but he gets away somehow. Good start for Big Clan again. Good start.
And look at the map control already, Pimp. They've given up B, but they have everything else under control. They know no one's pushed out Connector. This is allowing Searson to push around the back of them. This is looking brutal for Heroic. They've got to frag out here.
They've got to frag out, they've got to connect the shots. Now the retake is coming in, bomb is down. And as you said, Sørensen in a prime position to do the dirty job. Against Heroic though, gets spotted out, gets taken down to 37.
Zantares now though making a move up through the CT side. There's the top of the head that's protruding around the corner. Keto Gonna put Snappy down, 2-on-3, Stavin up close. Has to track in midair. Runs out of bullets with the Glock. I have no idea how he's still alive. How is he still alive this much longer? But he ran out of his 9 lives. And Big will be taking the second pistol with a 3K from Keto.
Yes, sir, they sure will. It's getting a bit close here, but there's no doubt that Keto will get the defuse. And another great pistol round coming out of Big Clan right here. As you said, Stavin stayed alive for quite some time right there. He wasn't really supposed to, but good start. Tabson, that kill towards Estetak in the beginning of the round, he was not supposed to win that duel. He was supposed to go down and he was supposed to die. He didn't. And in the end, that's what resulted in them winning the round. He's currently only sitting at 8 frags, but he's had some very impactful rounds, so it's good to see him, despite having a, dare I say, bad game by his standards, still finding somewhat of an impact on the game on the server. Now, once again, we see this force buy coming in from Heroic. Big, they were very successful with it. Heroic so far, not the same. Stavin takes down Tabson, and Sursen is only at 12 HP. This could go bad for Big Clan if he goes for this duel. He does, and there we go. Stavin with another nice headshot with the Deagle.
He's waiting for that flashbang. It came too late. Keto, off the back of a 3K, is looking to go for more. But his spray doesn't help him out. And how Big can start to take that retake into account in the back of their minds, because Heroic are making a move on A. 3 players here. Xantares pushes through the smoke. It's at the cost of 96 HP, but he is still alive. And he stalled a little bit longer that the player, in the form of Tizian, can start to make that rotation. The downside is, though, it's only an MP9 at range. It's going to do barely anything at all. But he's traded up to the Galil. He's made a lot of noise. Cadian has heard him, he's seen him, and he's fragged him. And that puts it all down to the aforementioned 4 HP Xantares. An M4 by his side. We spoke about his mechanics. It's not actually going to have any bearing because he only has eyes to save, understandably. So Heroic bounced straight back in the second half.
Another force buy prevails in this game, and that's been the story of the pistol rounds. Saw Heroic win the first one, then Big Clan successful with a force buy straight back, and now the same thing transpired here in the second half. Just the fact that Big won the pistol, and then Heroic was successful with a force buy. Good stuff by Heroic, but once again, you gotta be a little bit critical towards Big Clan. And also Heroic, for that matter, you gotta be able to win those rounds. You gotta be able to convert. A little bit too aggressive here for my taste. Knowing that you're facing Deagles, you could argue that's a bit lucky, but he was only at 12 HP, so a shot in the foot would have killed him too. It only looked flashy because it was a headshot, but not the start Big would have hoped for. They're trying to force back though around this M4 that Xantares saved. Maybe he can do some work with it. He's having a lot of players coming his way now.
One man you'd want in this position, it would be Xantares. But Cadian was a step ahead and takes Xantares' head clean off.
Yeah, and I like him being aggressive. I like Xantares trying to make it work with the M4, but you have to facilitate him. Put some teammates around him. Take the first bait, get somebody with a pistol to jump in front of you and make sure that's the guy Cadian is shooting afterwards, and then Xantares can come in and win the duel. It's like, it's a little bit too individual right now for Big Clan. They can definitely work on that and play more as a team and bait a little bit more for each other and be a little bit more structured in that sense. But it's always easy to be clever after you've seen the results, but something that I would go home and look at if I were Big Clan in a situation like this. Sursen, though, we saw him in the first half, how effective he was with the scout. This time around, he takes down Cadian to 31 HP, but he's all here by himself. It's going to be tough to do anything about this unless he can connect a shot like that.
I can now hide behind the smokes, though, with these T250s. This is where the pistols can be very dangerous indeed. It's 2 HGs, there's no flashbang for Tabson to push behind, but he's going to go through the smoke. Picks up the scout. And when Tabson's alive, anything is possible. Keto is going to be also playing off the truck. He's got himself the frag, and it's going to be Big, clutching it down. Heroic collectively facepalm as they let a chance go begging. But that's a hell of a hold by Big.
Big hold by Big. Sursen again showing the impact he's having in this game so far. He's doing good in the opening kill department. He's currently 6 out of 8. He's taken 8 opening duels and won 6 of those. That's very impressive. This round as well, connecting that shot with the scout, killing a guy and also taking down Cadian to 31 HP, and that's what you said. when you're facing wounded animals with a pistol, it's so much easier to go in there and make a difference, which is exactly what Tabson did. Big answering back straight away, and now it's Heroic with another force buy. Time to stabilize if you're Big Plane. Win this run, put the pressure onto Heroic, stabilize, and that could very well be game in your favor. Don't forget, this is the map pick of Heroic as well. They were the ones picking Overpass into this matchup, so it'd be a huge disappointment if they weren't able to win it.
And P9 up close, this is where it shines. You can see the shadow, but Tag is there. The shadows betray him. And he breaks the back of the keto with another entry. Bomb will be getting planted. Just as it looked like Big were getting the upper hand, things have gone awry again. Lots of damage inflicted to Tag, but Tabson's going to come out worse for wear additionally. And that is going to be the call to pull the plug.
That's a good call. There's no reason to go for this one. There's no way this retake is going to be any successful given the fact that there's still 5 players alive from Heroic. Another round that is simply just too easily given up. I hate to be that guy who constantly has to point out the negatives, but Big, they're playing too much individual right now. They're playing one by one by one. There's no synergy in between the team players. We saw it with Santaris as well in the force buy. They ended up winning it anyway, but there's no trade fact potential. There's no backup. There's no team play going on in Big Clan right now. Something they were known to be so good at when God B was the leader. Still early days for this new big lineup. Still early days, haven't had much time to practice, but this is something you'd expect to see in a FACEIT game, to be completely honest with you. So definitely something to work on here, and it's a bit of a shame because Heroic is taking full advantage of that right now. Another buy round though from both teams. This is a make it or break it for both. Actually only for Big Clan, as Syrison once again finding success with the scout. What a man he's been so far. He's only sitting at 11 kills, but I trust you, I dare you. All those 11 kills have been impactful. That was his 7th opening duel in this game. 7 out of the 11 kills has been opening kills. That's an insane statistic to bring up. Syrison is having so much impact now and giving Big another chance just to answer straight back into Heroic.
Mate, at this point, just give Syrison a scout every round.
Yeah, why not?
He's been unbelievable.
It's better with that than the op, right?
It seems like it so far. He's so quick to flick to the heads. Attack feels the full effect as he's expunged from round 20. Keto gonna be backing up Syrison, or maybe the other way round, trying to bait them into a false sense of security. Syrison has his back covered. Both the kills going to the AWPer, or in this case, the Scouter, in more way than one. And now Keto is afforded the chance to go back in again. There's a Molotov down, has been smoked off. Syrson's basically alone now. Keto is just playing the position. He is going to fall back slightly. All this time, though, that's been taken away, trying to deal with Keto, trying to deal with Syrison, has hurt the clock. There's 26 seconds left, and Heroic have barely got any control over the map. They're only just starting to move the bomb onto long. This round seems like it's already over. Unless Cadian can pull off something truly spectacular, he's going to be Molotoving the right side. That's going to force Syrison out into the open if it does extend. But it actually doesn't. That's so brutal for Cadian. He finally does get the burn frag, but it's too little too late.
He was able to stay alive, as you said, for a little bit too long, and that is it from Big Clan. Once again, putting a round on the board, and it's just going back and forth right now. That's a beautiful shot by Syrison, getting 2 entry frags into this round, and once again showing the impact. Heroic still has money to buy into this round. There's been very few ecos in this second half of the game. Both teams are constantly punishing each other. Both teams are unable to string rounds together, and now finally we see a tactical timeout coming. The first in the game from Heroic, the coach Lomme, as you see on your screen right here, must have some wise words to say. How are you gonna string rounds together if you're Heroic at this point? Feels like this game has been one big brawl. It's going back and forth all the time. There's not really any of these teams who have been managing to stabilize it all. That's not a good thing, because you want to stabilize on a map like Overpass, and I think Big has a great chance of doing that right here, right now. Again, winning this round will put them to 12. They will put Heroic's money in the bin, and that could be the game. So a lot to play for if you're Blicken, and of course for Heroic, a lot to play for as well. Another buy coming in. Attack, the only one without a rifle. Otherwise, a relatively strong buy from the Danes.
Or did have a chance, albeit fleeting. Wasn't able to grasp on to that jump for information. Thompson setting up for a potential flash onto Monster. Snappy is already making roads out of there, and the flash is going to be coming too late. Snappy's already going to be up close with Stavin. This is the play. And this is seemingly what Heroic want to go for, an all-out B execute into a rush, but they're actually pulling back, and Keto is doing an excellent job of shutting down middle. That kill that he just picked up onto Cadian is huge.
Sure is. Now it puts Heroic in a tough position. Going for a little bit of a cheeky boost right here. Stavin may be able to catch Taps nowhere here, but he's not able to get the angle towards it. I think he can move more to the right if he wants to, tell his teammates to follow with him, and there you go, he spots him and takes him down. Good stuff by Heroic. Unfortunate for Taps. Puts it back to a 3 versus 3 now. STech moving up towards middle, gaining control, and it looks like they want to rotate in towards this A bomb site where Sisson and Keto is supposed to defend it.
Akito's definitely spotted them, and if not, this flashbang's over. That has telegraphed the play. They're looking to pillage, to raise the site. Heroic. The Danes need some success. They need it quick, and Keto is the arbiter of doom. He is cultivating carnage on the approach, and Stavin can do nothing but watch as the round slips away. 12 rounds now to Big.
Good job by Keto right there, staying alive, not really exposing himself too much in those duels, getting not only 1 kill, but 2 kills. 3 in the entire round. That was beautiful stuff by the new guys to this squad. He's having one hell of a showing so far. It's a great start for Big, and now we see the first full eco coming into place for Heroic. This is a round Big cannot afford to let go. This is a round that can stabilize the economy for them, even build up economy for them. If they can survive 4 or 5 guys in this one, then we're looking at a big claim. 13 rounds on the CT side of Overpass. Your opponent's map pick with all the money in the world you could think of. Not a bad place to be, is it?
Well, strangely enough, one of the biggest head-scratch moments in the first half was with blocks and an AK. It's a similar kind of purchase here. Keto battering down the economy, bullying Heroic into submission alongside Tabson and Cadian in the connector. Hoping to just get the 1 frag. It will not be happening. Big, flawless. 13-9. Heroic will have a bye, but their time on their choice of map is now running out.
It sure is. It'll have to be now. Here the crowd out there is getting rattled up for Big Clan as well. They know this is a big win if they can get away with taking away Heroic's map pick into this first map of the semi-final as well. Win 2 and you go to the grand final. Lose 2 and you're out. It's so plain and simple. If you're a new viewer out there, Sturgeon going aggressive out towards middle. This time around, though, he's not successful with the opening duel. He goes down to S-Attack. And that is exactly what Heroic needed. Great start to the round, though. Keto pushed all the way up towards A-Long, and the majority of the Heroic team is still towards the B bomb side, where Big Clan have positioned 3 players. Tapson getting a kill, getting instant trade by Stavin. Not really getting away with it, so another good trade frag coming in from Heroic. I take that any given day. 4 against 3. Tishian down to 67 HP as well. Keto, he's getting some ground though. This could be dangerous. S-Tech is not aware, but spots him out right there, but that's a nice shot from Keto once again, having big impact with the M4. Tishian as well finding a frag, and it's a 2 versus 2 all of a sudden. Heroic, they're letting the advantage slip out of their hands, finding themselves 2 against 2. 15 seconds left.
I think it was a bomb as well. I thought for a moment that was the round done. Huge kill to counteract. Snappy's moved up very aggressively, anticipating a push through bank or dumpster. There's no gap in the smoke, so he's going to go the other side. This allows his teammate to plant the bomb, which is far up. Both the CTs funneling through together. There is no flank, but Snappy's teammate has gone down. Snappy needs to play this sublimely if Heroic are going to stay in the map. And Tizian will lay him out. 14-9. Heroic got the first kill. It was looking great for them, and they still capsized.
They sure did. Thanks to Keto once again. He's gaining so much control, so much information by pushing up A. And then he turned around and he got that kill towards S-Attack. He was not supposed to win that duel, but he did. And It gave Big another chance of winning the round, and they capitalized once again. It's not even that I'm sitting back with a feeling that Heroic is not playing well. They're just a stronger team in Big Clan. They're doing so well. All the individuals are stepping up. Keto having a huge impact. Tapson as well. He's not even playing his A game. Chantaris for that matter as well. I feel like Big Clan is playing well right now, but there's even more untapped potential into that lineup. So if I'm Heroic, if I'm a Danish Counter-Strike fan out there right now, I'd be worried and I'd be sad, because right now they're losing to a Big Clan who still has 10% more to give.
Danes have already been heartbroken once today with Mad Lions being knocked aside. Sorry to remind you.
Well, yeah, it's fair and it's fine. I don't care as long as the best teams win, and that was the case with Renegade. So if Big is the better team today, I want them to win. No doubt about it.
And so far, they certainly have been just that. And as you say, almost with one hand behind their back, they still have a huge amount of skill that could still show itself. And that will be a worrying, concerning sign on the side of Heroic. They need to up their level. Thompson, speaking of one of the men in question, making a move through short, can see the leg, I feel. And now he realizes what he spotted, and he finishes off Burrup. He doesn't have to overstay his welcome with connector door being open. They don't have anybody in there. Tizian's gone down. This is going to throw a bit of a wrench in the works. Flashbang out. Thompson, spoilt for choice. Did claim the frag onto Snappy just before he fell down and tagged Stavin down to 2 HP.
Yeah, he did so much damage and he really stepped it up. A poor first half from Taps, not a lot of impact, not a lot of frags, but he's currently sitting at 18, I believe, so he really stepped it up here on the CT side. It's been rock solid on the B bomb side, together with Chantaris, and now again, Big find themselves in a somewhat decent position to deal with this Heroic lineup. As you said, Stavin down to 2 HP. They're not moving away from the B bomb side. Bomb is still over here. There's a guy working towards A. I believe that's S-Attack once again. See if he can open up this round. Keto and S-Attack, they've had plenty of duels, and so far in this game, it's been all about Keto. He's been winning the majority of those, and he's in a good position to deal with S-Attack as well. Now he's pushing into the smoke, though. That could be a mistake, and it is. S-Attack takes him down, but that doesn't matter. Surson finds Stout and Cadian. I don't know what's going on right now, but that is round over. There's nothing S-Attack can do from this position. He's trying to run in towards the B bomb side, but there's no way he can get to the bomb in time. This round is over as long as the Big player stays alive, and they will. It's another round that goes the way of Big Clan. Another big play by Surson. Chantaris finishes it up, and Heroic once again not capitalizing off a somewhat good position there. And this has been the story of the first half. The Danes have done okay in the open play, but as soon as it gets down to closing out the rounds, Big Clan are just so much more ahead of them.
Excellent second shot, realizing there's a high likelihood of a push onto B site. Why not go for the speculative shot? That turned out to be just 6 map points. Heroic did pull off a pretty sick comeback yesterday. This would probably be going a step further if they did it again in the semi-finals against an informed Big. Surson misses out on the chance, and he'll be backing away as a result of that. Keto pushed in connector. 2 players looking to try and funnel him in. They sent the SMG in first, and Keto, without losing a single point of health, has repelled the push. Silenced the aggression, and Keto goes back in for more. Cadian, last player left. He's being tapped from multiple directions, and Surson is going to finalize the first map. One giant step towards the finals.
And there was no doubt throughout this game, especially in the second half, that Big Clan were the better team. Every single player having impact, every single player stepping up, and Heroic fell short. A little bit of a disappointing performance right here, considering it is their map pick. Now Big put themselves into a great position of booking a ticket into the grand final. What a display by this team. Beautiful to see them once again back playing some beautiful Counter-Strike.
I wouldn't necessarily write Heroic off just yet, though. We did cast them yesterday on Inferno. It's the map where Cadian dropped 20 frags in the first half on CT side with the AWP. He was a monster. So I still think this game isn't over just yet.
It's an open game for sure. You know, as you said, Cadian is a great player, Stavin as well. But what I'm seeing right now is Big Clan with confidence, and we know how good they can be when they're playing with confidence. We'll be right back with you after this break for the second map of this semi-final.